welcome to One Way, where we go one way, and that's west. Actually, yeah, I think it is west. And we can move the player. Yeah, it is west. We have a safety boat, just in case we wind up dying and respawning here. We don't want to soft lock ourselves, especially getting this far. Anyway, this is done on a phone. You might hear clawing and scratching noises to make certain maneuvers happen. Otherwise, it's held in a wide stance in which to avoid that. However, albeit getting better at doing it, holding controls at the wide stance a little less often now may result in walking into trees, buildings, and pits of death. And there's specs on the screen. Now, there's not specs on the screen. It's just washer-dryer phase. The question is, being that it's only washer-dryer phase, can we get enough ocean or very favorable terrain in which we can get to the 8,200 kilometer block? If not, we're probably going to get very close. Which means it's possible that the next episode might be where we cross that line, but it could happen here. In washer-dryer phase alone, we have traversed more than 30,000 blocks at a time, multiple times. Sometimes we get close, we get like 25,000, which will not be enough, obviously. It'll be very close, like 8197. Village. Of course, that's one of the caveats that actually does hurt our forward ability, but it's also something that could be very helpful and useful. So right now I'm just going to check my inventory. We need beds for sure, so yeah, we'll just go a little further. There we go. Hitting the button, perhaps that'll be nice. So we do need some beds. And we can jump. We are off. We are off. Yeah, we can also move the player. Alright, this can go away, that can go away, that can go that way, that can go away. Okay, this is all butchered. Good, that building is useless, we know that. Yeah, we're not going to make it, because as soon as I did that, I then realized that was not quite possible to do. We have a farmer. Unfortunately, we also have more than enough food. We can jump. Another farmer, too. You know, when I don't need them, they're everywhere. How are we on beds? We're one short. Alright, we got all we need. I know there's another space. In fact, I might just take advantage of that. Yeah, we'll just take advantage of that. Yeah, so this game isn't exactly updated to the latest. Okay. How about forward? I like forward. No, I don't like that. Yeah, we can jump. Brake. We need to move this way a little bit more. So we got an unpleasant drop. Alright, move this way a little bit and go. And move the player. Nice jump. Yeah, when we get big drops, especially like that, we don't jump. But where there's small ones like that one where I wanted to, like those small ones, we try to jump so that we can gain a little distance. How about board the boat when we press board the boat? Well, and here we go. We want to reach a goal that I know it's a little tough, but game wants to make it even harder. You know what? Let's turn this way. Nice jump. Jumping is pressing the exact same place that we did before, and it worked. Just like that was. Then again, as I've always said as well, even Windows 10 jump button doesn't like to do its job. Jumping. Imagine that. I push jump and jump were to happen. Yeah, that was kind of a false hope there. Yeah, we can jump. We do not want to jump. Move the player. There we go. Jumping. Same exact place I was pushing before. No, I was not swinging swords. I was jumping. Same thing there. I pressed it twice. I'm not swinging swords. I'm pressing jump. Big difference. Let's try working now. Brake. Controls are so dead. Alright, we're reaching a height. Ooh, I thought I was hitting that for a minute. Alright, okay, yeah, we stopped because we weren't sure. Nice jump for real. That was a bit much. Move the player. Move the player. Nope, don't want to do that. Want to move the player. Okay, good enough. Bed. The extra one. Good. Jump. How about jump when jump is pressed? I saw something on fire coming after us, meaning that we were in danger. And you decided not to work. Just do that. So it can fail to jump here. Oh, I actually did it. Oh, yeah. How are we doing with that? 45. Looking for 63. Nope, we're not ducking, we're moving. Okay, that's not actually going to help us any. How about I press jump and jump happens? Break. It's doing anything but what I want. Should we be surprised at this point? I just noticed we dropped without looking, which was really smart. Nope, I did not place. We're gonna break that as soon as we eat. How about moving the player? We broke the place, now move the player. Alrighty. Can we get another decent go? It's really hard in these forests. And how about we jump? Alright, that would have just been very minor inconvenience. And keep going. Alright, so I can't move. Now I can. Alright, couldn't fit through. Which way do we want to go? Alright, nice jump again. So I should be able to jump. Good. Imagine that. Hit the jump button and the jumping happens. Concept. Now, how about some nice expansive ocean? Yeah, like that was going to happen. Yeah, like that was going to happen. Nice jump. I imagine we can't go. Instead of swinging swords, we could have been jumping when jump button was pressed. I'll tell you, I know in Windows 10 the jump button is just about as dead. Again, it's swinging swords and not jumping. I'm pressing the jump button. I wasn't pressing swing the sword. Oh, jeez, this jump button doesn't work. Go, move, do something new. How about the sword? See, when I want the sword, you don't do it. Alright, I see that not ending, so we're gonna go slightly off axis to keep moving. Because we need to do that. Yeah, I don't like the way that's going, so we will turn. No, turn. That should get off here. Move. Go. Yeah, I don't like the way this looks. A little more progress. Thought I saw a floaty island. Jump! Jump! Oh, crap, the button just doesn't do anything. Doesn't go anywhere. Okay, it looks like this is the easiest way to go, and we're pressing exit. Well, that was a false hope, like anything else. Yep, up. No, I don't remember pressing swing sword. Wow, this is just painful. Go. Nice jump. That time it was a nice jump. Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, you're just going in the entirely wrong direction, so we're going over here. Yeah, the precision errors line up, and yeah, the one time I didn't want to jump, and it does. Nice jump. That was just a poor jump on my part, for once. And again, ooh, that actually worked. That didn't because, well, yeah, we know how the jump button works in this game. It does continue. That's good. Keeps going. That's good. That helps us get further. Helps us maybe get to 8.2 million in this episode. It's a stretch, but it's possible. Numerous times we've gone past 30 million blocks in just the washer dryer phase, the 2.5 hours or so, the short form video. Yeah, imagine that, a short video being 2 hours, 2.5. Sometimes it's even shorter. Like when the dryer belt breaks and we have to go to a laundromat. Then it's a super short video where it's just a quote-unquote mere 2-hour video. And the thing that stinks about that is it costs me money, and we don't get to go as far, and it takes longer to get to the same place. Okay, you know what? We went a little too far. No, we didn't. Nice jump. I don't want to know what I jumped over. But I would like to move the player. Break. How about jumping? Even a better answer. Just trying to grab as much of this as we can. There we go. And now, up we go. Using trees to help climb the mountains a bit faster. Alright, there's a tree next to us. Break. Alright, it's starting to get dark. Do this. Good enough. Actually, let's take care of this. We'll take care of the junk a little later. Oh, we don't have to go that high. That was a decent run for what it was worth. And we can keep moving. Oh, I don't like what I'm seeing. Okay, we can keep moving. Alright, no, we don't want to duck. Well, okay, it wasn't a death drop, but we know we've moved the player. We know we've come close to those. That went pretty well. Unfortunately, we're stuck in a... Well, we were stuck in a trap, but we were able to get out. Move the player. Man, why are we swinging swords? I wasn't pressing the swing the sword button. When it matters, it won't though. Does it continue this way? Keep going. Move the player. Okay, I don't like what I see that way. Okay. Alright, the wash is done, but I'm not in the best of spots right now. I'd like to get to a spot that's not that bad. Okay, we can jump when jump is pressed, even better. Alright, so I'm just going to pause the game here, and we'll come back for dryer phase. And we're back, so close to the 1800 block, but not quite there. Okay, we can, how about a direction we can move? Okay, we need a direction where we can move. There is not a direction in which we can move. Got me absolutely nowhere. Kinda. Okay, micro jumping is not helping. Yep, we can move the player. Alright, we fell into a mini cavern, and we do not want to fall in that one for sure. Move. 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 And we're at 8180. Can we get to the 8200 kilometer block? How will this game fight us the entire way? And we can jump. Close enough. Just trying to pick up the experience. Okay, that was just the shadow of the duck chicken village. Yeah, I see the nether portal, but I can get away with a couple of watch that one have like every chest with a golden apple in it. Alrighty. We need to get rid of junk. 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 Useless building. Jumping. Well, we didn't expect that to happen. Actually, we can trade with you a little bit. of the player. And you can be our safety house here. No better, you are in a bad spot. Doesn't matter. I get what they're trying to do, but I really don't like how that works. The transparency effect. Place. I know this way is a little more obstructive, but it also doesn't involve ice. There we go. And open ocean. Boring as it is, it's pretty much the fastest way to get anywhere in this particular adventure, in this particular objective. And just in this short amount of time from when we just mentioned our progress, which was like 2 minutes ago, we've made 10% on it. Our next 10,000 to 8190. We have enough of what we need, so just gonna go by this village, but turn to see if it has a smithy or not. Got plenty of everything. I don't see one. Yep, jumping. Not worth it. Okay, so we didn't stop at that village because we didn't really need to. We're already a quarter of the way through this next 10,000. You know, we hit brick walls here and there. Go again. Break. Good, we got it back. And speaking of brick walls, here we are. We've hit one. We don't have a way that way. Break. Break. Move the player. No, let's sleep first. Alright, we get exactly 64 of these. Break. What would have helped is when I press jump, that you jump. That would be a nice thing to do. Brake. Also, when I hit the brake button, we break stuff. Pressing. No, we don't need to do that. One more. Yeah, one more. There we go. How about not micro jumping? That would help. Big help. Okay, we can move the player. Move the player. Ooh, nice opening. Let's see if we hit it, and we did. Yep. And we pinned ourselves again. Right, yep. Come on. I can see that there's movement. There it is. And we keep moving. Jumping. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Why are we swinging swords? did not go well as usual. So yeah, brake. And how are we doing? 50. Okay, we can afford to break a couple of these. Another long-winded ocean. Could use a little boost here. I see a village up there. Oh, it's all the way over here. Too short. Nope. Seriously? I'm not going to waste my time on that. Alright, we're full on beds. Jumping. Jumping. Okay, not a useless building here. Unoccupied. and a smithy. Anything good? Kinda. Actually, let's... Like I said, at some point we'll get the golden apples back. And we're good with the... We're good with the armor. It's barely even dinged. We're not well over. We're over the 256 mark. But, yeah, like I said before, it seems at this distance it doesn't have as much ill effect as compounding when we're at the 2.1 million area. But this is definitely not going in a direction we want to be going. But we also have mountains, so we're trying to avoid them. So we'll go way off axis to avoid them. Go. Place. Place. Kind of important to place. If they were drowned there, we could have died. Yes, I saw that there was... Okay, that's not gonna work. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, a village that's too hard to get to. That's a project village. We ignore those. Even if there's a smithy, the only exception being if we desperately needed a village, which we don't. Over here. Oh, we're here already. We don't need beds. I think we see, yep, there is a desert temple. Keep going, keep going. Out of the boat. And keep going. It's the player. The skeletons are the worst, though. That's the ones that I really looking for, and we can. There we go. Junk. Not junk. Can use some diamonds. Well, a diamond. Uh-oh. Why are we like that? Pressing. Player. dense jungle there, less dense over there. Plus it shrinks that number down if we just go that way. Not enough. With the precision error, north and south, we can get away with the one block gap, but we cannot do that normally otherwise. Why did we lose the stick? Good. No delay. Place the boat and off we went. Nope, not the correct answer. Move the player. That was good. And board. That's good too. Now move the player. I think it's the same. No, it's different. Okay, that cannot be there. There's the point that we ditched that. And that here. That goes there. Put that there. We got enough to make another one. Not in any hurry at the moment. Not even attempting to grab that gold block. Three-quarters of the way through this next 10,000. thought this would go through, and it didn't. As said in the other episodes, I do not like how rain works in Bedrock. What's supposed to happen is if it's a thunderstorm, the sky turns dark gray and the clouds are nearly black. In Bedrock, it could be any cloud, any rain cloud formation. It could be this, could even be lighter than this. It seems the only time the thunderstorm clouds actually appears when you load a game and it's false weather. Although sometimes it actually seems to work right. Just gotta keep an eye on the land every time it rains, and we can't go in the slip we want. I know it's only a block difference, but jumping. Get our alignment and make sure we're aligned and our view is perfectly straight with the bow, because if it isn't, our view is skewed, and it makes it a little harder to align makes it difficult to steer the boat straight, because straight isn't straight ahead if we don't. Looks like we're in the deep ocean again, which is good. It means more distance. The only bad thing is if the sun were to set. Mushroom Island, those can be good if the sun were setting. Outside of any exposed lush caves, monsters don't spawn there. It is a safe habitat. That was a very small one. Exactly what we don't want. Now we made it to 8190. Maybe the island over here may be suitable for a bed. Let's switch it up a little bit. Now the rain will disappear. You can see slightly further, and the threat of monsters spawning in a thunderstorm that doesn't appear as such won't happen now. Oh, look at that. So close. Jumping. Oh, since I totally missed the 81, 88, 608, so we're more than 80% of the way through the final million traversable blocks. There's a river running through it. Well, not all the way through it. Good enough. Taking care of an itch. Let go of the phone, and suddenly everything just drifts to one side. And I know I'll jinx it by saying it, but we're already a quarter of the way through the next 10,000. Yeah, we'll just go this way because of the pillager outpost. Able to snake through a lot of it. This is definitely helping a lot with our possibility of hitting 8.2 million before this episode is over. Should we go this way? Let's find out. I mean, like I said before numerous times, when we used to see the glaciers and the icebergs, that was a good thing, not so much anymore. The ocean used to be frozen over and you could just whip right through them. Alright, so yeah, I don't like the way this is set up. I'm gonna take a... Oh, we didn't Dave Grohl it. That's good. We need to move the player. We are going backwards. The idea is that we are about jumping. Yeah, we're on fertile land that we could rebuild on if things go wrong. We can. There we go. Don't want to be in the middle of the icebergs. Although sometimes you don't have a choice. Ice spikes, even worse. Let's see, how much time do we have left? Got plenty of time left. Moving the player. Exactly what I didn't want to do, but alright. Oh, we missed. Yep, go. Now the good thing about land typically is that this stuff's more intact. Usually place. And we're more than halfway through this 10,000. How about the boat? Yeah, I wish we had more momentum going through though, but we'll take it. Jumping. Well, that didn't work. Move the player. Move the player. And we are once again way off axis, but it's helping us move, so who cares? How about the boat? How about the boat? Yep, getting the boat. Jumping. It's not going to work. This way. Nope. We're not. There we go. Nope, not what I want. When I don't want to swim, it will. When I want it to swim, it won't. Nope, I don't want swimming. Go, go, go. There we go. There, get her. See, now, like I've said also before, if it's straight ocean like this with the icebergs in it, that's not a problem. It's the partial ice sheets that are the problem. There we go. Alright, how about we end this biome? This biome is pretty old now. This way. You're gonna be in the water. Let's get some distance out of it. There we go. Turn. I don't want. No, you keep screwing everything up. I want to get on land. Let's do the correct thing. Nice jump. I know that the jump button isn't terribly important, but move the player. Move the player. This sucks. We have to go through one of these. Which is a major pain, because if you stop on any snow-covered ice, then we're stuck. So I guess where we take this out. Move the player. And we can't. Oh, yep, go. Let's just play it safe there. And we're not moving. Okay, we need to be moving. We're not moving the player. Okay, I want to be moving the player. Okay, we need to be moving. Need to be moving. Wow, this is another biome I would love to see come to an end. Move. Jumping. Imagine that. Jump button being pressed. Let me jump. Of course it doesn't go anywhere that we... Nope, that's not the correct place. And we can't move. Sword. Perhaps the sword. Might want the sword. Brake. Brake. Jumping. Jumping. Not now, because steepness. Alright, we can swap back. Nope, can't work that way. We'll switch back to this. So many switchbacks. We can just circumvent some of this climbing. Ooh, that actually did a pretty good job. Nice. Pressing. That worked out. We got water. Mistake? Probably. Well, it looks like we're gonna make it after all. But we know how this goes. You made it, screw you, we're gonna make it hard from here on out. Now we will park it on this island. Jumping. Nope, not what I wanted. Incorrect answer. Let's make it orange this time. Pressing. Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. There we go. Alright, 70 blocks to go, and of course we have to do this side. Move. Bad jump. One more. There we go, 8.2 million. And it's not in the water. Close, but not in the water. It's rare that we make any of these on land. Anyway, place. Okay, why can't we place? Picks the dumbest reasons to not place it. Next time we sleep, I'm going to check the dryer again and see how much time or how many sleeps we got left. It's not going to be too many. Far out of the way. Hey, what did I tell you, right? You made the goal you wanted, screw you, we're done giving you anything. Smart or dumb idea? Let's find out. and move the player. Alright, not entirely bad. What helps is not micro jumping. We could have made that. Oh, good. We're back at this. I was surprised I made that second jump. One thing I will mention is things are going to be different for, okay, how about we move? Thanksgiving and Christmas. Usually I will do a silent run during Thanksgiving and Christmas, but that's not going to happen this year because going to be celebrating Thanksgiving, the American United States Thanksgiving holiday, and boy, that's a deep hit. Jumping, 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 not swinging swords, jumping. The one I actually wanted. Anyway, not going to be in the same place that before, so won't be a need to do that. Okay, we can move the player. Bad jump. Good. I couldn't see what was coming, so it was good that we were able to okay, move the player. I don't want to be in the jungle. Nope, I don't want to do that either. Move the player. The player. Move the player. This may be bad. These jungle trees tend to be tall. We tend to be... Okay, move the player. They tend to be very tall, and falling from them tends to be pretty painful. Well, I didn't want to do that, but... Jumping. Yeah, we're going to have to take a hit there. about this way? How about this way? Are we still... Okay, yeah, that helps a little bit more. Jumping, 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 not swords. Move, 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 move. Break. We're supposed to be moving. How about sword? How about move? It really doesn't like to follow instructions. Move. Very dark spot, not good. Jumping. How about moving? I don't like being in the jungle. Break. Break. Ah. The player. I like it when we move the player. Position 1, there we go. Yep, move the player. Didn't stop at any given point. I'd like to move the player. Wow, there's actually no good way to go. Oh, okay, the vine saved us there. I don't like this. I don't want... Break. Today. There we go. I'd like somewhere else. Jumping. At least the bamboo stuff we can... No, how about not micro jumping? I like to be moving instead. Move the player. We gotta move the player. It's dark. Bad jump. Gotta move. Jumping, jumping, jumping. I press the jump button. Jump should happen. Micro jumping, bad. Not jumping, also bad. Alright, move the player. We need to be moving the player. Especially in the jungle, we need to be moving the player. We're micro jumping, which is wrong. Move the player. Not micro jumping, moving the player. 100% better answer. Jumping. Why do we have to keep repeating that? Why are we micro jumping? Incorrect answer. Move the player. No, I don't want to do that. Need to be moving the player. I want out of the jungle. Move the player, move the player. Come on, exit the jungle. Boring. Very boring now. Bamboo. Makes it harder to see, but it's also much safer. Jumping. Don't like what I'm looking at. I want safety. There's some safety. Move the player. Move the player. Come on. I would like a different biome now. This is very boring. Alright, I see an end. Hopefully it's actually an end. It's one of those biomes I don't want to be in. Bad jump. Move the player. Move the player. Jumping, jumping. How about move? Wow, this game's horrible. How about other biome? Jungle is boring. We've seen enough jungle. Alright, what we're going to do is break this down, and we'll make just one of these. We did not place a bed. There we go. And for some reason, Apple is in the wrong position. No, we're not sword swinging. going. I'm gonna keep going. I want to see the exit of this biome, and we have. I think I forgot to check the dryer. Seems like we went a long time without sleeping, which means we must have slept. Or I just lose track. And I pay more attention usually when I count off how many more sleeps we need to do. Yep, you can move the player. 100% better answer. Okay, that's not going to do anything. Break. Break. I need to see how much time is left. One more sleep. Okay, we kind of need to make torches. Break. Jumping. Jumping. How about we do the job? No, micro jumping is not the job. How about jumping? Pressing the button might mean do the job. Boy, the game can irritate the crap out of me. No, I don't want to do that. I want to be moving the player. Forward, forward. Oh, no, 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 no. Bad. Jumping. Moving. Moving. Stick. Place. Boat the boat. Oh, 15% battery life. Well, we're practically done at this point. Part of that is the mistake of leaving the mobile phone part of the phone on, which turned off, I think it was when it was time to pause to start dryer phase. Jumping! Imagine that! Not what we're looking for, but moving the player. Nice jump. Glad the jump button did not do its job again. So again, not in a biome we want. But it's also not exactly crowded, so that's fine. We're swinging swords. I'm jumping. Don't want the crowded jungle. Jumping. I'm just trying to get that fifth drumstick to go down. Jumping. Probably should try it. Eat. Boy, the game is really stupid. Place. Place. Oh, we're already 40% of the way through the towards 8210, but we're not going to get there. We're going to be set up pretty good for next time. Last, I don't think we're going to go that much further. Alright, we need to move. Again, it's jungle, which we don't want. And move the player. How about boat? And place and travel. Okay, we just want to get to the top of this hill. That's all we need to do. Yeah, almost there. No, we need to make the jumps now. Why are we not making the jumps? Come on, jump. Jump button pressed. Probably means to jump. Nope, not doing that. Alright, I guess we're just going to call it good here, and we're going to place some torches. Place. Alright, you know what? No. So, let's just back it up a little bit. There we go. Bed and 8,204,659. This is One Way. Georgia 551 saying, hope you enjoyed and have a good one.